What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So I just finished watching episode 3 of Tulsa King. You guys know that my reaction to this episode, along with all the others, will be under my YouTube memberships. If you don't know anything about that, you want to go over there and check that out. So you'll be able to watch my reactions amongst a bunch of other things. So I've got 2 levels of memberships over there. Level 1 is for $2.99. You're going to get priority replies from me, special polls, and live streams. Level 2 is for $4.99, and you're going to get everything that level 1 has. Plus, you're going to get all of my reactions to all of the shows that I watch, which is including Tulsa King. I'm currently watching Dragon Ball, Naruto. I've got a couple of other shows over there as well. Also, you're going to get reactions from different movies that I may watch and all of my uncut Try Not to Laugh. All for just $4.99 a month. So go over there and check that out. Make you feel a little bit like a VIP on my my channel here. But anyway, so in this episode, this got a little bit crazy. So, first of all, let's talk about the lady cop or the ATF worker. I just had a feeling that she was going to go back to see him again, because the way that she left the first time, I don't know, maybe call it like my woman intuition, but I'm just like, you know what? She said that it couldn't happen again. She didn't want to see him again. He was too old. But I was like, no, you liked him enough. You'll be back. I just knew it. And in this episode, we saw that happen. But anyway, we'll get to that. So in this episode, we see that he's getting ready to do his driving test. Meanwhile, the guy that he has, I don't know if I've heard the driver's name enough to remember it, but anyway, his driver, his dad is a hardworking man. Apparently, he seems like a good kid, probably never been in trouble, but now he got caught up with working for Mr. Manfredi. So now he wants to move up in the ranks. Like, he is trying so hard to be a legit gangster. Like, he thinks like he's part of the mob now or something. Like, he's on his mobster stuff. Like, so he's basically asking him, like, well, where do you see me in 5 years, moving up the ranks? He wants to be a capo and all this other stuff. She's like, first of all, no, like, this is not going to happen. And Manfredi's just not trying to hear it. Like, he's too good of a kid to be in that lifestyle. But then later on, apparently he convinces him, like, look, this is what I want to do, type of thing. So, okay, fine, whatever. So anyway, he goes for his license. Now at this point, he goes for the driving test. He's driving. During the driving test, here comes the guy that we've been seeing that is scared of him. He pulls up to the truck and literally starts shooting with the driving instructor in the car with him. So now they're going on this high-speed chase. The whole entire time, he's trying to catch up to him. At one point, I thought he was going to get him, but then he got away again. So eventually, he got caught up between some cars. The dude got away. Meanwhile, the driving instructor is like losing his marbles. His forehead is cut up. So in the midst of him, Manfredi tells him, you didn't see anything, nothing happened, type of thing. But then he starts writing the first 4 numbers of the license plate in the glass with the driver's blood. I'm like, yo, this dude is insane. You didn't have a pen in the car? Whatever. But, so now he's on the hunt to find out who this was. Meanwhile, he shows up at some point to the dispensary. Now, they're having some type of big party. I don't know. It's not like a 420 party. It's just something wild. So they go into the back. They find the guy who runs the dispensary. And he sees that there are these guys getting high off of, what do you call it? Like nitrogen. And they've got tons of balloons. So he's basically asking him about it. And apparently it's a thing. Like, they're going around. I guess there's a group of people who do this or sell this type of thing. And they're not like normal people. I guess they're kind of outsiders. I don't know. So Manfredi starts to ask questions like, all right, well, how many balloons do you think that can fill up? So he finds out. Then he goes back to the saloon or the bar where he's making friends with the guy, the owner. So he basically wants him to sell these tanks out of there to make money selling this so people can get high type of thing. I don't know. There's money in that, I guess. So anyway, yeah, so along the way, like now he's trying to figure out what's what. Meanwhile, we see the ATF worker, I forget her name. I think her name is Sophie or something like that. So, so they apparently try to arrest Manfredi for what happened, and they ran his name so they know who he is. But he's basically like, well, you know, if you're arresting me for getting shot at, I don't think that's a crime. So they're holding him, and then of course the ATF worker, Sophie, I think that's her name, Sophie, she comes in and she basically tells him, you're free to go type of thing. So I'm like, like I knew she was gonna come back somehow. So he takes her out to dinner, they're talking or whatever, and of course they end up doing the thing again, like I suspected. Meanwhile, the guy who was chasing Manfredi, he ended up going to some warehouse and setting the car on fire. And then later on, the car was found because Manfredi went to the hospital to go visit the driver. He gave him $10,000 to find information on the car. He found the information. Then he went to the car with his driver, Manfredi. Now they're like looking through the car. They find a piece of fabric that says F6 or something like that. And then they found a bottle of something that is used on horses. So now he's looking for the ranch. He goes find the ranch and he comes across this lady. She actually runs the ranch, I guess. So he's asking her questions, making it seem like he's some private investigator. She wasn't buying it. So then he stayed behind waiting around for the guy to come out. So he came out finally, he followed him home, and he was about to kill him right then and there. Then he saw his kid come out, and he kind of like didn't do anything. There was also a part in this episode where the ATF worker was working. It started off with them at this abandoned looking house, and this guy who I'm not quite sure why they were, I don't know what type of business he was running or who he runs with. But long story short with that situation, he had a bunch of dogs, let him loose, and he blew himself up. Then some guy showed up to the scene, but then left. He runs a motorcycle club. So I don't know what that has to do with anything, but I guess we're going to find out as the episodes, you know, go on and how this all kind of connects later. We'll see, but this episode was definitely nuts. This episode was definitely nuts. Meanwhile, you know, towards the end, we see that Manfredi's driver, the young guy, he's like practicing in the mirror being tough. And I guess through the vents, his father's in the kitchen and he hears him. So he's kind of like disappointed because he wants his son, you know, to do right. And here he is trying to be a mobster or a gangster or whatever. And so he's shaking his head. He's trying a little too hard, but we got to see where this goes. But anyway, this was good. Leave your comments down below. Let me know if you enjoyed this review. And let me know what you guys thought of episode 3 of Tulsa King. And if you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel. Hit like, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you guys can get notified whenever I pop up on your feed. I'll see you guys later. Toodles!